She first started talking to this guy last year when he was 17 and my wife 24. She became withdrawn, would let a lot of things slide, lose interest in her hobbies, the household, the kids, her friends, me. She admitted to me, in tears, that she had started chatting with a guy from Omegle one night when bored. They had exchanged contact details. She made a Snapchat just for him, and so did he. They began chatting there regularly. This guy is handsome, he's young, he's an athlete, and he's fit as can be. He's funny, he's awesome, he mesmerizes her, makes her laugh all the time. She finds herself falling for him, and she admits her mistake to me. I am so sad and upset, but I forgive her. She promises to block him, remove her app. Things are cool for a while, but months later I find out she still has Snapchat. She says it's for her other friends. I push the issue. Turns out she still talks to the guy. I am not okay with this. She says they are just friends. I tell her to block his ass. She says she does. Around December last year, I discovered she never did block him. Still talks to him. I am so mad. I break into her phone one day, see her Snapchat open, and a message from him. I love you, it says. Scroll up more and see a picture of my own wife's breasts staring me in the face. She sent him her tits for his birthday. Once more, she blocks the guy. I think things are fine, but I am starting to lose my feelings for my wife. One time around Christmas, my oldest daughter tells me excitedly that she had a phone call with Sebastian the Crab. Like the buddy of Ariel the Little Mermaid from the Disney movie? I shrug it off. I mean, 4-year-olds make crap up all the time, right? And she has a very rich imagination. She constantly insists she's a real fairy or princess and claims to have magic powers and whatever. I find out just yesterday that my wife never stopped talking to the guy until this past February, when he suddenly ghosted her out of nowhere. Which makes sense, because she was very sad and depressed at the time. She then deleted all her apps and accounts in anger, and now has no way of contacting the guy or being contacted by him. Not sure if I even believe that anymore, but sure, she was sharing all she did to me, like she wanted it off her chest. I just let her talk, and she admits to it all. Says she really fell in love with him. Mentions how she read a lot on Quora about polyamory. Quora is her damn Bible, and that she feels like she can love multiple people at once, that her love for me has not diminished by loving another guy. I call crap. Then she admits she even had voice calls with the guys at night when I am away. I often work the night shift. At times our oldest daughter would wake up and he'd talk to her too. He sang her to sleep a few times, and he pretended to be Sebastian the Crab, which is what my daughter tried to tell me. She tried to tell her mama, I think, but I shrugged it off. I am so insanely angry she would allow herself, as a grown woman, to fall for some boy on the other side of the globe. I am feeling betrayed by the fact that she showed her body to him. What makes me the most mad, however, is that he talked to my damn daughter. He even saw her picture in a video. He called her Little Dua, like the singer Dua Lipa, because he thinks she looks like a toddler version of that singer. The whole thing is so creepy. The fact that he was just 17 when my wife and him met online is creepy to me. The fact that she allowed him to talk to our firstborn daughter, it's all messed up. I fear she may have wanted to run off with the guy. She's talked a lot about the place he lives, California, and I'm just weirded out by that too. I don't know what to do. I'm heartbroken. My wife and I have a daughter, 4, another daughter 2, and she is currently pregnant as well. She blamed some of her behavior on pregnancy hormones, which is nonsense. She also tried to subtly push polyamory on me as well. I'm so done with her. But I also love our daughters and do not want them to grow up in a broken home. She's gone back to normal in some sense. She does her hobbies, she cares for the kids and runs the household as before. She is sweet to me, at times. We make love often, but most of the time, as much as it pains me to say, I feel nothing. I'm 27 years old. I felt last year that I had it all. I felt on top of the world. Now I feel like I already lost it. Top comment, somebody said, your wife lied to your face on 4 separate occasions about ceasing contact with this guy, shared explicit photos, and allowed him to speak to your daughter. Only after he ghosted did she delete everything and express she still loves you. Obviously, any semblance of trust between the two of you is gone. What happens if she gets bored and starts chatting with a different guy? The fact that it appears she feels she has done nothing wrong, or only slightly wrong because she still loves you lots and lots, is alarming. Do you think you will trust her again? If not, protect you and your daughter and start anew. Original poster replied, do you think you will trust her again? If not, protect you and your daughter and start anew. I don't believe I will ever be able to fully trust her again. She's hurt me too much with what she did. The awful thing is that I still love her in so many ways. I still love her. I still love her sense of humor, her passion and her drive. I think she's an amazing mother. Or well, I used to think so. Right now I'm not sure. I just don't know. But I don't think I can trust her anymore. And if I had the means and it was as easy as snapping my fingers, I'd have her leave by tomorrow. The thing is, I can't. My parents have busy careers, my siblings are busy too. No one could help me out in raising the kids if my wife was out of the picture. I want her out, but then what? Another commenter, lawyer up and get her out of your house. You cannot in any way trust her now. You've given her multiple opportunities, and she has lied and continued her behavior. She has even allowed this guy to interact with your child. Your wife may have issues that make her feel low, but she can get therapy. To repeatedly do this, she has shown how little she regards you. You need to get legal advice, and she needs to leave. You've done nothing wrong, and you shouldn't have to leave the family home. This is hell, but you deserve way better treatment than you've been given. Original poster replied, you need to get legal advice, and she needs to leave. You've done nothing wrong, and you shouldn't have to leave the family home. Part of me wants her out of my sight because I resent her so much right now. But then she is also 4 months pregnant, and I have a demanding job that does not enable me to care for the children 24/7, so I'm stuck. I don't know what to do honestly. I want to kick her out, but I also know that our daughters would ask for mama, and I don't know what I'd tell them. The way she tells it to me, she was discovering herself, finding herself, and I don't know, she keeps comparing me to the guy too, and says I'm so cool for being able to talk about this with her, when it's just her sharing what she feels and me breaking down inside every time she does. Update, so here's an update. I have read all the responses to my previous topic, but did not find time to respond and reply to each and every one of them individually. The common thought seems to be that I need to man up and take responsibility for my life, and many have advised me to kick out my wife or seek legal counsel and start gathering evidence. Financially speaking, as a young father of soon-to-be 3 kids, I cannot just call up a lawyer like that. We are not Americans, and we are not in America either, so I do not know which laws do and do not apply to our situation. The guy she had her emotional affair with, however, is in the States, but they lost contact, and my wife claims she does not know his last name or exact location, only his first name. Some have suggested she was the one being catfished, but she says no, because she actually had video calls with the guy, and he looked like the images he had previously sent her. My wife admitted a lot of things to me in our talk. For example, she's a singer-songwriter, or rather, she tries to be one. She has written a lot of songs, passionate, romantic, and sweet-loving songs over the last half year. I was touched by them before, thinking they were about me. Turns out they weren't. Turns out they were about that guy. This devastated me. The whole affair, my wife said, inspired her. She told me about how hard-working the guy is, how he's going to a top university, how clever and bright he is, blah, blah, blah. She said she considers me lazy, not ambitious enough, that I'm good with the kids and all that, a decent provider, but that I'm not really someone she sees as being capable of greatness. She likes the fact that I look good and our kids look good, and that I have a lot of focus on their well-being. But she needs a life partner, not just a babysitter. This infuriated me because when I take care of my damn kids, I am not just a babysitter. I am their father, and I am caring for them because I love them and I am responsible for them. She admitted she often thinks of going back to her own country and living with her parents. My in-laws are quite well-to-do, and my mother-in-law has a lot of time on her hands to help out. My wife is not originally from the same country as me. My wife said she'd take the kids, follow her dreams in the city she studied in, which she thinks will give her a better chance at success. She also regrets having married me in the first place. She says that she wouldn't have married me if she knew at the time how lazy I was. For the record, I am not lazy. I work the night shift 3 nights a week, also work during several other days. On the evenings when I am home, I manage to cook at least twice a week. I do groceries, pick the kids up from school, and make them sleep too regularly. I handle the kids in the evenings. I am free to allow my wife to go to classes to develop herself. She is pregnant, and I massage her at times for up to 90 minutes so her back and legs won't be too painful. I'm a damn hero to that woman, and she does not realize it. Instead, she compares me to some other guy she's never even met in person, and somehow I don't quite measure up because I didn't go to a top school. I'm not rich, I'm less ambitious, and this makes me lazy and useless. So now I'm looking at my options. I'm 27 years old. I am in decent shape, and I am not a bad-looking guy. I'm a good father, I'm a good provider, I'm a good son, and a loyal friend. I've been a good husband too, but apparently I'm not good enough. Well, guess what? Neither is she. She's far from sufficient. She's far from good enough. But I never say even 1% of the hateful and negative crap she tells me. Never. I've told her all this. I have told her how I feel. I told her that I do not feel respected, that I feel like hell, treated like hell, tossed aside like crap, that I will not continue to support her and her dreams if this is what she wants to do. I also told her that she's not going to take the kids anywhere, that if she wants to leave, she can leave, but she will do it by herself. She is not a citizen of my country, and I reminded her of the fact, whereas our kids are. I have taken hold of our kids' passports and now hold them with me as I write this. I am not letting go of them. If she wants to leave, she can, but it will just be her and the unborn baby leaving, and she won't bring any of my stuff with her. That laptop she has been using to chat to the guy, it's now with me too. I bought her that damn laptop. I'm taking it back. I'm taking back control of my life. I am still considering what further steps I will take, but whatever she has planned, I'm not about to lay down and take it. Since telling me all this, and her hearing my response, all of us as a family have attended a family event. My wife pretended to be fine. She has stopped saying negative things to me. She's not on her phone anymore. I distrust her, but even though I have told her where the door is, she has not left the house either. I think she is backing down a bit by now. Finally, after having posted here and having reached my limit, I confronted her again, and she said more hateful things to me and hinted she may take our 2 kids and go back to her home country. I took the kids' passports to prevent her from essentially kidnapping them against my consent. I am trying to keep this as anonymous as possible. Here we go. My girlfriend loves animals. She is a legal secretary at her job and also works as a small animal specialist on the side. She's worked as a small animal specialist for 4 years, and after getting her real job, decided to keep her other job for fun. At home, we have 2 dogs and 2 cats. All are her pets. Her jobs are highly demanding, and when she isn't working, she's in the den organizing huge dog adoption events. Every 4 or 5 months, she manages to bring about 60 dogs up from high kill shelters around the United States and finds every dog a home. And I think that's a cool thing she does, but she literally stays up until 3 a.m. planning flights and managing people to get the dogs securely to the holding center and ectora, and then wakes up at 6 a.m. and goes to work until 5 p.m., and then goes to her other job until 10 p.m. and comes home and repeats the process. On her days off, she is taking her dogs to the park or going on hikes. She lavishes her pets with new beds and the best food, and when she is working, she has the dogs go to Daycare Central. As you can see, her days are filled with animals, and I feel like I'm not even a part of this relationship. When she isn't with animals, she's reading or doing her own thing. We've been out to dinner together maybe twice in the past month. She isn't distant or rude. She always lets me in on what she's doing and asks if I want to help, or asks if I want to go to the park with her or on a hike, but I don't want to because it's always about the animals and not me. Anyway, last night before we went to bed, she said she was thinking about getting a tree frog to put in the den because she really likes the calming presence they give off. I just think that is the straw that broke the camel's back, because I told her that's insane. I told her I'm tired of all the animal stuff she's involved in. I told her she needs to grow up, and I told her absolutely no to the tree frog idea. At first, she was quiet, but then she said something about how animals are her passion, and what she does isn't stupid, and she'll never get tired of animals, and that I have my own hobbies too that she doesn't think are stupid and childish. She then said that tree frogs, and close to nothing maintenance-wise, and they're just pretty. Then she started getting upset and cried and left the room, and when I woke up, I found her asleep on the living room floor with the dogs. It's not like we're being overrun with animals, but the amount of them in my life is aggravating. She even brings random lizards home and nurses them back to health. Isn't this all a little insane? She's always loved animals, but now that she makes a substantial amount of money, she does more than ever. I don't get it. Now she wants another animal to fawn over and spend hundreds of dollars on each week? No. I guess I'm just venting for the most part. I feel bad for the way she feels, but I still think the time she invests in animals is insane, and since she's in a relationship with me, she should act like it. Update. After reading comment after comment about how I didn't support my girlfriend or care about her passions, I started to see where I was wrong. I do care about her passions. I, personally, am burnt out of animal care. I should have communicated that better, besides blowing up on her. I still, no matter how many protesting comments I get, will never understand why she donates so much money to just animals and not anything else. That was why I told her to grow up. That, and I think her passion for animals is childish, sort of in the way that kids love fairies or mermaids. I feel like it's a phase she never grew out of. I love dogs too, but her deep love of animals is something I looked over because she always had good jobs, and she is very pretty. I think a lot of people were misguided in calling me a douchebag, simply because I missed spending time with my girlfriend. No, I am not jealous of lizards. I think it's absurd to come home and find her bandaging up some lizard's foot, or open up my fridge to find a tub of mealworms to give said lizard. I've always loved how dedicated she was to things. Whatever she's doing, she's giving 100%. I just wish she directed that passion to things that really matter. Helping animals is nice and all, but it's not really changing the world. However, I am still deeply in love with the beautiful, sensitive, loving girl I met 5 years ago, and all the comments made it clear that I was being rude to her. So I wrote her up an apology letter and went to the nearest pet store to get her a tree frog. I got the tank and lamp and even crickets. I set up the whole tank in the den where she wanted it and named the tree frog Jinx. I thought my apology and me buying the tree frog would help her see I care and that her passions are cool. Anyway, I waited for Jessica to get home, and finally when she did, I told her to go look in the den. She seemed upset still and said, "Thank you for the tree frog. I actually bought one before I got off work and had a friend set up the tank for me. It's in my car. I'm gonna go get it. Thank you." She brought the tank in and asked if we could talk for a little bit in our room because she had some things on her mind. She said she didn't want to jump to conclusions, but our relationship wasn't heading in the direction she wanted, and maybe I should find someone more suited to what I like. Maybe a quieter, less busy life. I explained to her that I love her deeply. I just want her to tone down her animal life. And she said she can't, because it's not only her passion, but all the money she makes from being an animal specialist goes to the animals for adoption, vet care, housing, and money to the people who foster the animals when she can't. She said if she toned anything back, she would lose a huge part of her, and I thought she was being extreme. I told her I loved her, and if that's her choice. She said she loved me too, but my actions showed I can't and won't support her. She then referred to many times in our past when I refused to show up to her adoption events, and most memorable for her was when I wasn't there when she was accepting an award. It all became very clear that she didn't want to be with me anymore, and once again she was choosing animals over me. I accepted it and told her to live her life as she pleases. I told her that I thought she should give money to homeless children too, and she said, sure, do you know any organizations I could help with?" But I didn't have any suggestions, and I was already angry and felt like she was giving me a slap to my face. She said that I was missing the point. We ended the conversation shortly after that, with us splitting up, and her saying there are things in life that I don't understand, and she can't make me understand, and it's just as frustrating for the both of us. I agree with her about the frustration part. She said that I can spend as much time as needed to clear my head, and I'm allowed to stay here until I find a new place to live. Unfortunately, the house is hers, and life is going to be weird to adjust to alone. But she's right that it will be less busy and more quiet, which I'm excited and looking forward to. I am also happy about not having to share my home with a tree frog, her 2 dogs, and 2 cats, and whatever other critter she brings home for the night.